Flying solo today, flying solo. It is Sunday in Estelí, Nicaragua. It is Sunday in Tampa, Florida, and many other parts of the world. And we are doing a Sunday live to share with you guys how the ventures of Tabanero Cigars are going here in Estelí, Nicaragua. I'm flying solo today. My better half is busy. So I'm going to do the best as I can, because definitely it helps a lot when someone throw you questions and you just answer to your best of knowledge. It's a lot easier. So in here we're going to go solo and just share how things are going and talk for a little bit with you guys and basically with myself too. It helped me to reflect by talking to myself also. This past week, it was a challenging week, like always. It was a sad week too in the U.S. It was a sad week. Something happened recently that really threw me off, but we need to continue. We need to continue. I feel my biggest condolences for the family, the members, who stayed behind. It really stroked me what happened last week. Coming from Cuba, a dictatorship where everyone that doesn't agree with their agenda, they used to be put down or quiet. I totally feel and suffer what happened this past week. But life continues. Life continues. So this past week we've been working on the box shop, box factory, and I was talking to my son, my wife. That is still the reason that we moved to Nicaragua. We moved from Tampa, Florida to Nicaragua. It was for me to learn a lot more about tobacco, and that hasn't been the case. Yet. I'm learning, of course. I'm learning because in here, in Estelí, any conversation that you are present, of course, everyone is talking about cigars. So I have learned that when the possibility allows to age my cigars, my 50 count wheel, to age it inside of a bag, a plastic bag. You want all 50 cigars to stay in the same space so they all keep fermenting and balancing in the same bag. So when you select the cigars and put it in boxes, you have on that box of 20 count cigars all same flavor cigars. That is quite interesting. It really struck me. I remember visiting one of the factories here, Natsa Cigar Factory, owned by the Oliva tobacco family, and it caught my attention. All the wheels, 50 count wheels, they were inside a bag. But I was shy, I never asked why, and I just realized that it had to do with flavor. I have learned about growing tobacco here and there, visiting Regadillo, but I feel that I haven't been able to get 100% on what I want, I'm really passionate about it, what I'm really falling in love with this industry, which is tobacco. I got cut right now on, on the manufacturing of packaging, and it's been an adventure. It's part of my journey, it's part of what I do. I keep telling myself that at some point it's gonna make sense why I'm learning the packaging size. At some point it's gonna make sense. Things are evolving with that side. We also checked, we also reviewed the first 6 months of the year. And wholesale, we went 14% up. Online, we went 12% up compared to the first 6 months of last year. So that's good. That is good. That kind of gives me an idea of what's going to happen on the next 6 months. But the store keeps suffering. The store, I think it was, it didn't move. The store didn't move. But that doesn't stop. That doesn't get me mad or anything. That is just giving me a sign of what do I need to do. What do I need to do? In here, coming back to Nicaragua, for some reason, you learn in business that you have to delegate. You have to allow people to grow. You have to allow people to take initiative. But the way the people that I have access to it in the bookshop, of course, they don't have a lot of experience. The good people with a lot of experience, they're already taken. They're already working for Pepe and Garcia's bookshop, for Perdomo bookshop, for Oliva bookshop. The good people, they're already in there. They're in there. My job as a leader is to develop my people. And I find out through the videos that I listen, and I know anybody could have taught me this years ago. And who knows if people taught me this years ago, and it didn't make a lot of sense to this point of my life. Things are not difficult. Things are not difficult. It's not the people. I finally accept that it's not my surrounding. It's me. It's me that I have to get better, that I have to accept. I finally have to accept that no one is coming to save me with a bookshop. No one is coming to save me to the bookshop. I don't know if unconscious, I feel like, and I know unconscious because I remember bringing Karen's, my right hand in the U.S., bringing her brother, thinking that he was going to save me with the bookshop. That I was going to have someone to take the lead and create the people we needed in the bookshop, and it's not working like that. The same way I created Tabanero Cigars, I build the people in Tabanero Cigars, that same way it's taking me to do it in the bookshop. So it took me some time this week to reflect, to smoke good cigars, and understand that things are not difficult, things are not impossible in Esteli. The problems that we have with paint, with the screen printing, it's not the people, it's me. That I had to accept that this was part of the process, this was part of the journey, that this was not just gonna be fixed or happening in 1 year, that this is gonna take some time, and I have to accept that I have a challenge and I have to get myself better. I have to better myself to overcome the challenge of packaging of a box. And that has that took a lot of weight out of my shoulders of always worrying that if it's not gonna happen, or why this thing's happening to me, or why it's so difficult for me. The why is because I wasn't aware or completely agreeing that I'm on this 100%. That is, no one is coming to help me out or save me. I have to do it myself. Once I accept that, I felt differently. I said, wow, I've been neglecting, I've been waiting for a good painter or a good leader to come in. That guy's not coming. That guy's not coming to save me. I have to do it myself. I just turned 47 years old, and I realized it that because I already did it in Tampa with a box shop, with a cigar shop. I'm thinking that that it should be easy too with a box shop, and I'm forgetting how much I struggled. I had getting my brand up and getting my brand to be successful on my own scale, how the size that I want. So with a box shop, it's we're going through the same thing. The only thing is that with a mindset, I realized that it's been 2 years in the box shop, and things are going a lot faster than with Tabanero. They're going a lot faster than with Tabanero, and I have to accept that it has to do with my experience. An old man, Jerry Troya's dad told me, Yanko, do you know what is experience? And I said, Mr. Troya, yeah, I kind of have an idea of this experience. When you've been exposed to something for some time and you learn it, he said, well, experience is not more than the accumulation of many errors through the years. And I said, well, that makes a lot of sense. It's an accumulation of many errors through the years, and that's why I'm always thinking how to prolong my life, because I don't think my life is going to be enough for everything that I want to do. So the experience that I gained during Tabanero, during a business, that I really put my heart into it, that it wasn't money, that it was about me becoming better. That experience is allowing me for the box shop to go faster. I never intended to come to Nicaragua to learn how water-based paint affects the wood, or how screen printing it needs to be applied. So no, that wasn't my intention. But since I accepted that I have to learn it, I have to learn at least how it works. I have to learn how to prepare the paints, how to apply it, all these things, so I can kind of guide the painters, guide the new people that come in, and make good professionals with the knowledge that I acquired into. I didn't accept that. Things didn't really start changing. And yes, they've been changing for good. They've been changing for good, especially this last week. Even though it was a sad week, things are changing, and we come back to longevity. I haven't heard it. I grew up. This has to do with longevity. This has to do with how much I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I have no idea if when I turn 70, 80 years old, if I would say I'm tired, I said I don't want to do it anymore. But right now that I just turned 47, and I look back in my life of those first 10 years as an adult, 10, 15 years as an adult chasing money, I remember thinking about retirement. Once I found the cigar industry ever again, I just trying to see how I can prolong my life, because how much I enjoy what I'm doing. And going back to when I was a kid, I grew up with grandmas and women. I grew up with a lot of women. My dad wasn't often around. My uncles were young, so they were, out and about. So on weekends when I needed to be taken care of, being a single mom kid, resilient, exposed to a lot of necessities. Every time my mom could had to do something else, who would take care of me was my grandma's, my aunt. And I remember this. This comes back to from my memories. I don't remember anybody that was old saying that he wanted to die or he wanted to leave Earth. Everybody that they were having a good time, that they were having a good time, and they were saying, you always hear from your relative that she wanted to keep living, and they were 90, 93, 95, and they wanted to keep the fight. So I go, well, that means 100 years is not enough. It's not enough. And this is most of the people I'm talking about. They were retired individuals. I never had the chance to be exposed to someone that it was in business, that um, it was a passionate individual to be 90, 95, and it wanted to keep going. I probably think of that person that it was going to be, the desire was a lot more profound to keep living because what he was doing. I admire a lot Joe Capitano, I was going to say in Ybor City because he's old already, but he has so much energy. He wants to continue buying property and doing this and doing that. I admire him so much. I admire John Oliva Sr. John Oliva Sr., he goes to the gym. He's always standing straight with the attitude of the lion. So that is telling me that people that are really passionate about what they do, they don't have enough time on Earth. They don't have enough time on Earth. So that helps me out to accept, because we all know, we all hear that we're not going to stop learning till the day we die, that we every day learn something. Yeah, we are all brought up with these things, but until you experience it, until you accept it, that part of that, of learning something every day, is for you to get better. So the world around you is not going to get easier. You just preparing yourself, so every time the storm comes in, you know how to navigate the storm, to be strong, ready for the storm, because it's inevitable. The storm is gonna come. Every year it will come. So you got to be strong and wiser how to navigate the storm. When you are experiencing that in your life, you go, wow, this makes a lot of sense. First, accepting that nothing is going to get easier around you. It's about you. It's about how much you're willing to put and how much effort you want to put into it. Because I don't think it's sacrificing. I don't like to use the word sacrificing. Sacrificing is when you pushing yourself to do something that you don't like, and everything related to the box shop, to the packaging, it's right here. It's in Esteli and it's related to the industry. So I'm not sacrificing. I'm just putting effort into getting better. But this week, I don't know, the light came and boom, it said, Yanko, stop asking, to find the right people. Stop asking why, why it gets so difficult. Stop asking why the laser machine is broken, and it's life. It's a storm. And I should have to get better and better and better to navigate the storm. I did my checklist of all the equipment that has to be checked periodically. I did a lot of stuff that is going to be print, laminate, and start building systems. I've been doing it since day zero, but the more you learn, the more you educate yourself, these systems they make a lot more sense, and you accept how needed they are. That's why I'm on that stage right now. I did all the. There's been I have a really good customer, La Familia. They do flavor cigars, and we've been having issues with the ink color for the print on the boxes. They have 13 flavors, 13 flavors, and each flavor, the ink is a different custom ink. They did it digitally, and we need to get as close as we can to that color. So we have talked about it for many times, but this week we're gonna do it. I talked to the owners, which are amazing, and I said, look, I'm gonna recipe the ink. I'm gonna bring one of the guys that I respect here in Nicaragua, in Esteli, that he worked for a big cigar box factory. He's already married, and we have built a good relationship, and I'm learning a lot from him. So he's gonna come in and help me out to build the recipes for each color, for each flavor. On my own, I went with my young apprentice, designer apprentice that we have in house, and I'm thankful to have him. On my own, we print each size of the box, front, size, top, bottom, with the screen printing, with the printing. And he went and did lines at the top of the font, lines at the bottom of the font, with the arrow, and showing what should be the measurements. 30 millimeters from the bottom to the bottom of the box, and we did it for all size, laminate it, and glue it, and stick it right in front of the screen printing guys. And what I'm going to do is probably I'll make a mistake, but I want to experience that. Now that it's going to be laminated in front of the screen printing area, I will tell the other guys, the assemblers, the guys that do sanding, if anybody that knows measurements comes to here for the screen printing, and I give them the freedom to take the box and check with the pictures we have in the wall, check measurements. And if anybody finds a wrong measurements, I give you $100 $100 is less than $3. I give you $100 and I'll discount it from the screen printing guy. I'm gonna do that and see if that works, because they're difficult. They're difficult. They're the ones that I have. The ones that I have to work with, because again, the really good ones, they're already married. So I'm gonna throw that as a joke and see how that goes. Because they can't give me an excuse now that no, the box that I did before, that's how it was measured. Let's forget about the past and let's follow the system. Right there you have the measurements of where and how high and everything the screen has to be. And I'm doing the same for La Joya de Nicaragua, Los Salones, and that is the other big brand that we are making boxes. And like that, keep implementing systems, and every time something new comes up, not into a moment in 3 to 5 years that I can build a good leader. It has to be hands-on. Every time the new project comes in, I have to get in and find the recipe and find how to do it, and then delegate and trust that the people under will follow the instructions. Because right now, no one is coming to save me. Right now, no one is going to come to my door, knock on the door and go, look, I'm your supervisor, I'm going to do an excellent job. You can now concentrate on Tabanero because I'm going to take care of the box shop. No one is coming to save me. I have to do it myself. This week I had a chance to, good friend Pichardo, Erayo Pichardo, he imported Peruvian tobacco, Peru next to Ecuador. So it's really sweet. It's not as dark, and it has a really particular aroma, really peculiar aroma, really sweet and appealing. In comparison with Honduras, that also has a distinct aroma, I like better Peruvian. So we did some samples at the Disla factory, and I took some tobacco to the Disla family for them to do samples, and I haven't tried those. I tried 2 samples from Pichardo, one with a Mexican wrapper and one with an Ecuador wrapper. The one with the Mexican wrapper, it really allowed the Peruvian aroma to express itself. I guess the Ecuadorian wrapper with the Peruvian being so close in flavors because of the regions, it didn't work out as good. But with the Mexican and Peruvian, an excellent smoke, a smoke that I'm thinking to do for newer generation, for the kids meal, for the new guy that wants to come into the lifestyle, to give them something completely different for them to try. I really enjoyed that Peruvian tobacco. That was one of the highlights this week. So this week, it definitely has been pretty interesting. I don't know if it has something to do with me turning 47 years old the week before. The prior week, I turned 47. I was 25th, and I don't know. Every time you turn a year old, you make that mistake of doing an assessment of what happened on that younger year. It's like making the mistake of checking your financials or comparing your financials every December, every end of the year. I feel a lot better looking at my financials every 5 years. Where I was standing 5 years ago and where I am right now in 5 years. But we are humans. We make mistakes, and I guess my birthday, everything that was going on in here in Nicaragua, that is going on in Nicaragua, I went back to my drawing board in my mind. I started listening to podcasts and things that I had done in the past. My good friend Tony Robbins, and I was telling my wife, I have to find a way. It is pretty expensive for now, but we need to find a way how to go once a year to a Tony Robbins event. I did it once, and it was extraordinary for an entrepreneur. And I need to find a way, the same way I spend a lot of money going to the show, the cigar show every year at PCA. We need to find a way to spend some money and go to the Tony Robbins event, because again, you probably heard this many times in your life and you haven't done anything about it. The facilitator, the person that is sharing the message with you, it has a lot to do with how you're going to be receptive to the message. Parents are always complaining, well, you show up home and you tell your parents, oh, you know what, I just find out that if you do exercise in the morning, your brain is a lot more alert to go to school. And then your parents look at you and say, my mom, look at you go. You just find out, I've been telling you for the last week. So I guess the message has a lot to do with the reception of the message, has a lot to do with the messenger. And Tony Robbins is a really good one. He's a really good one. He speaks from the heart. And and he helped me out this week to accept that it's not my surrounding, it's me that I gotta get better. And every time a challenge comes in, accept that it is what it is. I have to learn and see how to solve it. I just can't use the remote of Click, one of my favorite movies, Click, and I hit forward like I already learned everything, and then the buckshop is doing great. No, this is part of the journey. This is part of the journey. And this is part of the journey. There's no way to go forward with the remote. And I'm enjoying it since I changed my attitude and I said it is what it is. And I just have to get better. Things change. Now I just got to make sure every morning to have that still moment in my brain before I engage with all the worries and understand that I am the one who needs to get better every day for the storm. Nobody else is coming to save me. It's just me. This is my fight. Thank you very much, guys. Again, this is all about the cigar lifestyle, entrepreneurs, lifestyle, and sharing with 3 or 4 that they like to follow what's going on with Tabanero Cigars and their venture. Thank you very much. Happy Sunday. Thank you, my good friend Ken. You've always been supportive. Don't give up on me. I will continue doing Sunday Live. And I know you're always there listening. Thank you very much. Happy Sunday, guys. And again, my name is Yanko, founder of Tabanero Cigars, where we believe in the enjoyment of craft.